G'day everyone. Update 11 of the XXL 750. Finally have some life back in the reef. Little red eye fairy wrasse. Super cool. Couple more SPS frags. Just going through a bit of a dip. Drip acclimating the fairy wrasse while starting to rinse off any pests. Pretty much just got a couple of copepods off the frag, so super happy with that. Really nice frags from Nick down at Ferrofins. There, hairy yeti, can't wait. Set a timer, just gonna wait for the dip. It says 10 to 15 minutes, but I sort of 10 minutes and a bit I'll start to try to shake the frags free and start looking at the frags, because by the time you finish they'll end up a couple of minutes over. Wrasse, they love jumping straight into the rockwork. Super cool, super active little guy. Fed straight away. You see, still got a few minutes on that timer. I'm really bad at forgetting the timer on the dip, so just started doing it on the phone. Just set a timer so you don't forget. That's a Batavia frag. It's a yeti. Really nice polyps on that. Just going to grow them up in that top left corner and sort of fill out the top of the tank. Being stable and coral, they're just going to grow nuts, so that's the plan. Trying to keep everything on the right hand side, like the Monties and smaller colonies down there, so that when you walk in the front door you'll be able to see all the way up through the tank still. The Me coral dip and the Me super glue, the gel glue, I haven't used them before, and the glue was awesome. So easy to use, nice real thick blobs that set really fast. He's straight into the rockwork. It was super quick, just turned all the flow off and the frag just sat in there straight away. There's no worries at all. Now Clarity filter map. Just trying to automate as much as I can on this tank now. Going with a filtration conscious method of removing nutrients before they're nutrients. That's what I've always tried to do with the filterable sock holders. Try to have something that really just traps everything. But a big thing with those is through the day as they fill up, that whole section of the sump is raising by an inch or two, and the auto top off is correcting for that. So that's just however little that might really be over the whole system, just trying to weed out any parameter swings, trying to make this as stable as possible. So I was trying to get rid of the need for the filterable being changed each day, and it's a messy job. Like, you're pulling the filterable out, it's water's running out of it everywhere, you got bits of filterable running through and running into pumps, and it's just, yeah, this seems like a really good step forward, especially with this tank now, just trying to go the next step with everything. Wasn't too hard to put together. Lots of little pieces, but being as simple as the little instruction booklet was, with just still images of each phase, it wasn't too hard to figure out. It took a couple of goes at the start of it there to get everything balanced in position while you're doing up the rods through it, but it wasn't too bad. The filter roll, that was another story. Looking at the image, it looked like it went in this way and out the other, looking at the way they were holding it, but then when trying to put the motor and the roller on, it was kind of realised everything was back to front there, so wasn't too bad. Just flipped it around and kept moving on with the program. the ends for the roll holder there were very tight fit. They took a bit of effort, bit of force to get in there, but it's good seeing nice tight tolerances and how well it does actually all come together. The float sensor, I put this in all up to front to start with, but it wasn't too hard. I just unscrewed the top of it and flipped it over. And yeah, that right there is the age-old rule of measure twice and cut once, but I wasn't cutting yet. That was Thomas Shear, Anything Acrylic. He made up this beautiful little mount to sit the Claracy in, and it was all measured off a Peninsula Reefer, and unfortunately the 750 stand is not as tall, so the Claracy couldn't actually fit on top of it. So I called it a night, got back into it in a few hours later, and decided that it would kind of fit if I wiggled it in on the exact right angles and perched it indeed on top of the filter sock holders and plugged it up that way just to get it running, just to see what we're dealing with here, to get an idea of if it's going to work, which it did. But being that it's falling down into the sock holders and there's a couple of inch gap there, the trickling noise from that was pretty loud. Like, it was only a slight trickling noise, but the rest of the system was pretty quiet, so made the decision to drain the sump and start having a look at what we can do here. Talking with Nick and starting to think about cutting out the baffles here so that we can sit the Claracy down. Was starting to look pretty good. Looking at a couple of like Google images and things that other people have achieved mounting these in their sumps. There was a bit of a target here, so made the decision to start cutting. Wasn't too bad. Using blade holder where I could, so wasn't at too much risk, and just taking my time, working the blade in around flush on the glass so not to scratch any of the glass. But like if you're using a brand new razor blade, they go along the glass pretty nice, and there's a little risk. I've never really had a scratch on glass from a fresh razor blade. Saying that, it's pretty easy to pick up a bit of like a Bermudan snail shell or a bit of sand or something like that. Like, you've got to be super careful, super mindful of what you're working with and what you're around. So same thing, just constantly grabbing a fresh blade every time you go to sort of a dirty area where it's like along the bottom of the sump there, and doing a bit of a cut to move back up the top of it, grab another blade. It's all coming out not too bad, just working modular. Just the top section came away as one, taking each piece of glass at a time, just to not put any pressure on anywhere, not try and force anything. Really didn't want to crack this up, did not want to turn this into a nightmare. Trying to keep it as simple as possible. Might put the last baffle in the front of this section eventually, just so that there is still like the 4 stages of the sump, whereas like taking all this out, there's only the 3 now. It has worked out pretty good though, because the lower the water level is on the Claracy, the more water pressure you have from water falling through the filter material, that the filter mat doesn't have to turn as often, it lasts a bit longer. Nick sort of ran me through all that, explained how you don't want to have it completely submerged because it will just keep turning over and filling up really quickly. It was pretty tight fit, like getting the clamps in around the factory Red Sea flow valve there for the to get the constant siphon. It's almost like it was all designed around it, because it came together quite nicely. And this was going to be a little bit of a stressful time, actually cutting into the pipe work of the Reefer. Really just sat there and measured, and made sure, using a copper pipe cutter there, just to get a nice flush, even cut. The little elbow that comes with the Clarisea is the same type of fitting as the Reefer uses for their plumbing, like the different type of PVC pipe. So that fit perfectly. That it was meant to be. I ended up putting a little tiny spacer in behind the plumbing there that spaced out the base of it to really level it up, which like pulled it all together. I think I went through about 150 litres or so of fresh salt water, draining the sump, and took a little bit out of the display when I was washing all the silicone dregs out of the bottom there. The keto, by the way, is growing really nicely. So dense. The colour of it is like luscious deep green under that new AI Prime Fuge light. One thing I have noticed is the skimmer. Restarting the skimmer after installing all this has just completely shut the skimmer down. It's kind of annoying dealing with that when you're installing new equipment and any residues or anything like that. Like, the skimmer seems really reactive to those sort of things. But at least dealing with this now before the tank's all stocked, trying to do all the hardware stuff now, get it all out the way. See how it all just tucks in there. That one elbow at the bottom I went and got a whole heap of extra plumbing to plumb it in the other way, and didn't have to use any of it, just the single elbow that came with the unit itself. It's working really well. Like, the amount of stuff that it's catching, I look forward to seeing how clean the sump stays now, like on water changes. Like, I feel like I'm just going to be able to focus on siphoning the display, like not even having to clean the sump anymore. That would be really cool. Just hooking up the little control unit here. It's just 2 plugs, one for the float sensor and one for the roller itself. And this was the original idea, is just stability. Like, you can see how that's the float valve full, to then the roller mat turning to where the float valve drops down to empty and the roller mat stops. So that small amount of volume is the complete salinity swing of this system now. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Subscribe, like the video if you liked it, throw in a comment, let me know what you think. This is a bit of a new approach for everything. Thanks for watching.